Jesus, came in hot, man. Came in hot. Appreciate it, Tiberius. Go somewhere else. You're not very fun to talk to.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
Good, good. I just side note that got way far off the topic, but we'll try to stay on the topic here.
All right.
Okay. Republicans hate freedom. No, no, they don't.
Yeah, so that's good. I'm glad you don't hate freedom. My thought behind that question is the front runner of the Republican Party is Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is campaigning on actual fascism, which to me is anti-freedom.
What is he doing? Do you know what fascism is?
I do know what fascism is. Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
so then
so
how is he
essentially.
fascist?
Yeah, so the way that he's running on a fascist platform is he's advocating that he take more control, like that the executive branch be given more control, specifically through the FEC, the FTC, and the FCC, and that he also has control over whether those bodies are ever investigated.
But that's not fascism.
No, I think he's trying to run on a fascist platform. Like, obviously, a fascist takeover takes time, right? First, you have to consolidate the power, and the first step is to make sure that one, he already has the courts, which is terrific for him. But then you have to give the executive branch more power. It's a process. If we were never allowed to say somebody was fascist until we were like fully in a fascist movement, then fine. But I'm going to call this like preparation for a fascist movement.
I think Bernie Sanders is a communist.
Yeah, well, he's a democratic socialist.
No, he's a communist.
Well, he's a democratic socialist, though,
Well,
right?
yeah,
He
but
believes in
socialism.
democracy, and he also believes in like socialism,
Well, yeah,
right?
anybody
So
who
that would
believes
make
in
him a
socialism,
democratic socialist, right?
in order for socialism to be successful, it always becomes communism.
Okay.
Socialism is the
And
economic
is
form,
Bernie
communism is
Sanders
the government.
trying to give himself more power? Who's Bernie Sanders is a senator, right? So
Yeah.
his personal beliefs, like he hasn't implemented communism.
No, he wants to. If he was president, he would want to.
Well, if he was president, he wouldn't be able to, though, right?
What do you mean? He could
If he was now if Bernie Sanders was running on his platform, and he was also advocating that once he became president, he be given more powers than the executive branch was granted, and powers so that you could not investigate the bodies that he was using, then yeah, I would say like he's probably a fascist too.
um to having just executive power doesn't make you communist or socialist.
No, I didn't say that. I said that I would probably also call him a fascist.
He's on fascism's right wings. Communism and
Oh, you're
socialism.
right. Your fellow right wingers are not going to like that. They're not going to like that you just called it saying right wing
No,
fascism can only be right.
fascism is
And
classified as
I'm
right
going to
wing.
help you out there as
What?
somebody who like as much as I wish fascism only existed on the right, like it's just normally like a far right authoritarian, but it doesn't have to be. Like you can have tenets of fascism that could be on the left.
Not
Certainly could
true.
happen. No, it certainly could.
How?
So you could be a communist. You could be ultra nationalist. You could have a dictatorial leader. You could have a centralized autocracy. You could have a strong military, forcible suppression
Well,
of
yeah, that's the
opposition.
commonality. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, no,
those are all the tenets of fascism.
no. Communism and fascism are both totalitarian, anti-democratic propaganda.
Not necessarily. No, you can have communism and you can still have like you can still have voting. You can still have democratic processes within communism.
No, yeah, no, I know that. I'm saying that both are totalitarian. It's just that's the commonality. There are differences, though.
Communism and fascism are very very different, right?
They are. No, you're right. They are.
Fascism doesn't necessarily have to like adhere to an ideology or an economic theory. Fascism can happen within really any economic theory if you have a fascist leader, right? It just happens to be that it's most of the time that winds up being like a conservative thing because the one thing that fascists rely on heavily is relying on propaganda. So they have to be like, oh, well, the immigrants are the problem, or in Germany there was the Jewish people are the problem,
Yeah.
or the LGBTQ community is the problem. Most of the time when a fascist is trying to take over, they need you to fear something. And what's the easiest thing to get people to fear is change. People hate change. It scares them. And so that's why it's usually conservative, because you're saying like, here's who we were, here's who fucked everything up. We got to go back to that, and we're gonna have to do some shit to get there. And if you look at the modern Republican Party, I don't know how you could say that they're not at least at the beginning stages of that. Like you overturn Roe v. Wade when 70% of the country is like, yeah, let's keep this in place. The attacks on a woman's body, but also on LGBTQ people, specifically in like specifically children, and the demonization of LGBTQ people, the way that they assign like their motives, and they attach LGBTQ for abusing children, while just completely leaving out like churches. Right? It's all a fear campaign, and it's a fear campaign to consolidate power. And you're seeing that right now. You're seeing a consolidation of power on the right. And Project 2025, Agenda 47, those are literally ways to consolidate power in the executive branch. That's the whole point of both of those.
Well, yeah, that's why communism is a left wing and fascism is a right wing, and they both Democrats and Republicans follow aspects of those ideologies. That's why when you say
I think unfortunately I think you think that fascism and communism are opposites. They're not. I think it seems like you think that's the fringe.
They have similarities, but they also have differences.
No, because you can have fascism and communism.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, you can have a communist country and have a fascist leader. You ever?
How would that work?
The leader. Wait, what do you mean? How would that work? How would it not work?
No, they literally are conflicting.
What do you think communism is?
Communism is when you want to redistribute wealth. Everyone would be very equal. Religion would be abolished, and war, and they wouldn't have any war.
I don't think it necessarily means that religion would be abolished.
No, it is.
No, I don't think. Listen, I don't know that you really know a lot about communism.
Wait, so in a communist state,
you're basically advocating. You're kind of advocating for like a classless system where the means of production are owned by the people. So communism could look very different depending on who's running it, like what the government looks like, and you can have communism under fascist.
You can have, wait, what do you say? Communist under fascist?
You can have communism under a fascist regime.
How would that work, though? How would that work?
Well, it seems like you don't know, because you can still have this like.
No, it can be a dictatorship. It can be totalitarian, but it wouldn't be. It would either be one or the other, or it wouldn't be any.
Why?
Because they're conflicting viewpoints.
Okay, but
communism
this is the thing. So if you fascism is about like taking over, right? So if you have a communist country, can a communist country be taken over by a fascist?
Sure. I mean,
okay, and can you keep can you keep the tenets of like the economics of communism with a fascist?
A fascist wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't. Well, they could. I'm saying, can you? I'm just saying, you think they're polar opposites.
Anyone can do anything.
Can you live pure communism? Can you live pure communism within fascism? Absolutely not. You can't do it. But fascism itself, like fascism, is a takeover. It takes over any theory.
Wait, is what you're kind of saying is that aspects of communism and fascism can exist at the same time?
No. What I'm saying, yes, aspects. Yes, aspects. That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, so that's what you're saying. Okay. Right. So you pointed out Donald Trump. You think is potentially fat or has fascist ideas, and if we don't stop him, he would be fascist. And I'm saying that many Democrats, such as Jamal Bowman, such as Bernie Sanders, they're communists. So.
Bernie Sanders is not a communist. But Bernie Sanders isn't a communist. Why would you say Bernie Sanders is a communist?
Well, because he supports socialism, and what happens innately when you have socialism is that people will stop working. Because if somebody who's working 12 hours a day...
Based on what?
No, you asked me a question. Let me finish, please. When you have socialism and you have one person who's working, let's say 12 hours a day, doing an easy job, getting paid $50,000, another person working those same hours and doing a very demanding job and getting paid $50,000, The person who's working
That's
the
not what
demanding job
socialism
won't
is.
work.
Wait, that's
No,
not what
wait,
socialism is.
No, hold up. Then people will stop working.
That's
And
not
then,
what socialism
and then
is.
because people aren't meeting the
That's not
demand, because
what
there's supply and
socialism
demand,
is.
you have to force people to work.
That
That's what
is
communism is.
not what socialism is.
That is what socialism is.
No,
What is
it's
true
not.
about it?
Socialism just means that the workers own the rights or the means to production. There is still a variance in how much people make. You
Not
understand
true.
that people make different amounts in socialism, right?
Not true. No.
Okay,
about
well, you go study. I don't know
redistributing
what
the
to tell you. You don't. Do you know Do you know of any socialist countries?
For example,
What countries right now are
Vladimir-
socialist?
Vladimir Lenin's Russia.
No, what countries right now are socialist?
Not 100% sure right now, but for example, Vladimir Lenin of Russia, you can take him as an example.
Are you gonna keep? You're just was that the whole example? You're just saying
You asked
Russia?
for an example. I gave you an example.
Okay, no, I'm asking what countries right now are socialist. That's what I'm asking you.
I'm not sure.
Or even democratic socialist.
Do you want to tell me? Seems like you know the answer.
You really don't know this answer?
You know the answer, so just say it.
Like Denmark?
Denmark is a socialist?
They're like democratic socialists, yeah.
What do they do that's socialist?
Oh my God, no! I'm not going to teach you everything, but the point is you can have varying degrees of wealth inside of socialism. Not everybody makes the same amount. When we say the workers own the means to production, it just means that you own your labor. And if you do more labor, or you have labor that is valued more, you can get paid more. You will get paid more. Not everybody in socialist countries make the exact same money. I don't know why you think that.
Would you agree that socialism is redistributing wealth?
Oh my God. Oh my God,
Yes,
dude.
yes or no?
No, and respond to what I just said.
You didn't ask
How old
me.
are you, by the way? Are you over 18?
20. I'm
Okay,
20.
Cool. I just make it. That was just an age check thing. I
No,
wasn't
I
saying
was
it, yeah.
I was gonna address that.
You're
But
good.
yeah.
Okay. Wait. Yeah. Is socialism a redistribution of wealth? It could be, but it really just means that the workers own the means of production, right? So if you happen to have like a company where the owner keeps all the profits, then yeah, like if then we were in a socialist system, yeah, it would redistribute. But really, it's like if you're starting off as social, it's just distributing the wealth, right?
Would be redistributing like
Well, it's not redistributing, right? Redistributing is when the wealth has been distributed and then you're redistributing it, right? I think you probably should read up a little more on socialism. I'm not sure you understand what socialism is. Did I lose you?
What did I say not true about it?
Well, you said
Yeah,
everybody makes
hey,
the
can you hear
same.
me?
You said everybody makes the same in socialism. That's not true.
Well, that's when you redistribute wealth, then people are gonna have the same amount of money.
Oh my God, no, dude, just no. You just gotta go read more. Where did you get your ideas on socialism? Where did you learn this?
How did we
Where did you learn this?
reading?
What'd you read?
You want me to recount what I read 5 years ago, or a few months ago?
I would like to know who taught you this awful version of what socialism is. I want to know who's telling you this.
Reading.
So you didn't read, did you? Let's be honest.
No, I did read.
What'd you read then?
I have a question. How does this
No,
relate?
what did you read then?
Your
Because I'm trying to figure out why you think that in socialism everybody makes the same amount.
That's what happens.
It's not what happens. That's why in socialist countries people make varying amounts of money. It sounds like it sounds like you've just like listened. It sounds like you've just listened to conservatives say stuff, and then you just believed them. Because this is what I did when I was 20, and I was a conservative too. I just believed the dumb shit that I was hearing, and I believed it for a really long time too. And then like one time somebody had me Google it, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
Wait,
could
but
I
can I
have?
ask
Are
you
you
a
in front of
question?
Are you in front
Yeah.
of a computer right now?
I'm in front of a computer. Yeah.
Okay, could you Google, does everybody make the same amount of money in a socialist country?
Money in a You want to know the sources I'm getting?
I would just like you to read one of them.
I'm getting Reddit sources, so you
Well, so Reddit sources are still better than any sources you've given me. Do you want to just read one of the answers?
anyone can post anything on Reddit. I'm not going to
Oh my
read
God,
a
dude.
Reddit
Oh
response.
my God. Dude, you're 20. You should not be this stubborn at this point, dude.
You want me?
Can you just admit that you don't know?
I do know I'm not going to read a Reddit source from some random Joe that wrote it.
So then scroll down.
Scroll down, correct? More
What were the
Reddit.
words that you searched?
Does everyone make the same amount of money in a socialist country? Question mark.
Okay, so now go past Reddit.
Go past Reddit, sure.
Now what do you see? Read me some more sources.
Thesocialist.org.au.
Seems like a good. It seems like if you wanted sources on socialism, you might go to socialist.org.
You've heard of that source?
It's an Australian government source. That's what the .au is, I think. I believe AU is Australia. Do you want to read it?
We can read it, sure.
Okay, I'll read it.
Yeah, you read it. You read it.
Okay, a reader recently asked us, "Does everyone be paid under socialism? And if so, what incentive would there be to work hard or study?" Basically, your question. No, everyone would not be paid under socialism. This is a common myth spread to confuse people and suggest that skilled or ambitious people would be better off under capitalism. This is the argument you just made. Nothing could be further from the truth. The first point to make is that the question presupposes that under capitalism, smart people and those who work hard are paid the most. Also not the case, right? Do you want me to keep going?
I'm just
Let me read
rereading
this whole
just
thing to
to
you.
make sure.
It's like 3 pages long. The main
Sure.
difference is that you just it's not capital. Like, do you know what
Well,
capitalism
yeah,
is?
well, but I have a question. I have a question for you. If we're redistributing the wealth, you have
Oh
someone
my God! Stop saying redistributing the wealth. This is just like a Republican talking point.
So-
What does socialism mean? Let's try this one more time. What does socialism mean?
Socialism is when you redistribute wealth.
No, no. God damn it! Google socialism. Say
Yeah,
socialism
socialism.
definition. Google it. Socialism definition.
You want me to read the Wikipedia source?
Socialism. I don't care which one you read. I don't care.
Well, this is it says socialism is a political ideology that aims to give workers shared ownership of the tools, land, and buildings that they use to make products or provide services.
There you go. So they own the means of production. Does it say anything about that, about redistributing wealth there?
No, what do you mean?
Oh my God.
No. I'm asking you to just clarify what you mean when it says they own the means of production.
So read that. So read that again. Read it again. It's going to
Yeah.
explain. It's going to explain what they're talking about. Read it again out loud.
I'm reading it to myself.
No, read it out loud. This is
Why?
Nobody wants to say because there's people here listening. It's not just me and you.
Right, we're having a discussion.
Can you just read it out loud or no?
Do you want to read it out loud?
Well, I'm not on the same one as you. Do you want me to go to? You're on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Political philosophy. All right, so I'll read your definition with you then. A political philosophy and movement encompassing a wide range of economic and social systems, which are characterized. Now, this is going to explain what they mean by owning the means of production. Social ownership. You know what social ownership is? It's like that the asset is owned by like a society as a whole rather than an individual, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and the means of production is like, how would I explain that? Like the land, the labor, anything that you use to produce something, right?
Wait, but if society owns
Oh
it,
my
who's
God.
paying the workers?
Oh my God. So it's basically means that when you go to work, you own the means of production. So you share in the profits from the work where you're at. Not just a wage. It doesn't just go to the people who provided the capital to start the business. The people who work there have ownership in the business, basically.
So we're talking about the same business. Would the owner, not even the owner, would the manager get paid as the employee, the worker?
No, the manager would likely be paid more than the just the everyday worker. Now you could pay them all the same if you wanted to, but there's nothing in socialism that says everybody gets paid the same amount of money.
Okay.
See how easy that is? I'm just telling you, man, I would just say this. You're 20. It's fine. Like, you're probably in a conservative area. I would just go out and read about socialism, and then look at the world around you. Because look, dude, I don't know. Are you planning on going to school, going to college?
I'm in college right now.
You're in college. What are you studying?
Psychology.
Okay, and did you have to take out student loans? Get that covered, or
Yeah, yeah,
you had to take out student loans? Okay, when you come out, you're gonna have student loans, and you're gonna be a
yeah.
psycho, and you're gonna be. Are you gonna practice psychology? Be a psychologist?
Undecided, but probably.
Undecided. Okay. So when you get out into the working world, you're going to see some things. You're going to see that it's really really fucking expensive. And you're going to look up and you're going to see a bunch of people hoarding all the wealth. You're going to look at Jeff Bezos, you're going to look at by the time you're in the workforce it's even going to be worse. You're going to look at all these massive corporations, people that can literally just buy, like, they're just buying islands for the fun of it. They're going on vacation to the moon. And you're going to say, like, okay, as a first year psychologist, wherever you are, let's say that you're making $60,000 a year. You're not going to be able to afford shit. You won't be able to get a house. You'll get a shitty apartment. You'll live paycheck to paycheck, and your prospects for making a substantial bit more money than that are going to be slim. And you're going to look up at all these people who made all their money by investing, or all these people who made all their money off of the backs of labor, and you're going to go, why do those people have so much money and I'm working my ass off? I might be working 10 hours a day. You might work 12 hours a day. How many hours you need to do to make ends meet? And do you really think that you're not going to be working as hard as Jeff Bezos? And then you're going to look at the system and say, this is kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair that once you get money, and specifically the amount of money these people have, they can fix every single problem they ever have by just paying it off. And they run everything.
Yeah.
And that's because what we did in this country is we allowed corporations to hoard the wealth. We allowed these people to take all the wealth. And we did it by allowing them to be like, hey, don't worry, like, we're providing the jobs for you. We're providing the jobs. We're taking the risk. We deserve all the benefit. Well, the benefit is massive. The benefit far outweighs the risk that they're taking. Because I've started and failed businesses, and you know what? It was fine. If you do it the right way, and if you set it up as a business, you still live. Worst case scenario, your business fails, and you start again. But these guys are telling you that they took all the risk and they deserve all the money because capitalism and because socialism's bad. They don't want socialism because they don't want to share any of that money, dude. They don't want any of that money to trickle down. They don't want all the backs. They don't want the people who built that fortune for them. They don't want that to trickle down to them. They want it to stay with them. Jeff Bezos needs that money to stay with him, right? For whatever reason. He can't spend it, but we just need to take that money out of circulation in the economy, and it just needs to sit there with Jeff Bezos, and everybody else just needs to be fucked.
Yeah, can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up a true point. College is freaking expensive, and you're going to be stuck with a lot of student loans, and it's hard to come out of that. And for example, when Biden gave he relieved all the student loans for people who didn't pay for their college. My question, I guess, is if he's forgiving the loans from people that didn't pay it off, then why would people in the future want to pay off their student loans when they know that it could be forgiven in the future?
It's an interesting question that ignores the fact that, like, ignores the question of why do you need a student loan to go to school? Because it used to be in this country, college was either dirt cheap or it was free. So the real question you should be asking yourself is, who are all the people getting rich off of this? Is it the government? No. Is it you? No. Who is it? It's banks. Right? Somehow the banks now need to make money off of us going to school. Why'd we allow that? Why'd we allow that? Because the banks saw an opportunity. They saw an opportunity to make money. They're the ones that advocate for these schools to be really expensive. They're the ones that advocate for the state not to pay in and not give, like, a free education. They don't want that because then they lose money. You're literally looking at a problem. You're looking at Biden like he's the problem, and you're forgetting the fact that you have predatory banks who are preying off of, like, 18-year-old kids who don't know you don't even know what you want to do with your life yet, and you've got bills, you've got debt, you don't even know if you want to practice psychology, you don't even know yet, but goddamn, that bank doesn't care. They find kids, they sell them a dream that they're going to come out of college and they're going to have this perfect job and perfect career. They rack up the debt and they make interest on it hand over foot. They're predatory loans, and for some reason Republicans are like, Joe Biden, communism bad, socialism bad. It's like, this is literally like capitalism. That's what this is.
I mean,
this is capitalism, just like, and it's gotten so far now that, like, and people don't care. Like, nobody quits at 20 million. They got to get to 100 million. They have to have generational wealth. For what reason? Like, capitalism does not promote equality.
Yeah, like, no, like, you're right. The banks make a lot of money because they charge a lot of interest. But
So then why? So
again,
then what are you
back to
doing
the
on here
point.
advocating against?
But why would other people not take out, like, you're incentivizing people to take out student loans and not pay off their college in an
No, we're
effort to
not.
have it
No,
forgiven
that's
in the
not.
future.
So that's not what happened.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh
Who's
my
paying the
God.
banks when their loans are forgave, sorry.
For the who's paying the banks?
Yeah, because you're taking a loan out from the bank, so the bank still needs to make money. So who's paying
I
off the student
I
loan?
don't know exactly the mechanism that was used to pay that, but essentially it's going to be us.
Yeah, that that right there is a redistribution of wealth.
It's not a redistribution of wealth. It's a redistribution
No,
of
you're having
bills,
people that
right?
have money pay for people that don't have money, and the wealth gap over time, not in a small
And
sample size, but over time, it starts to close close in.
and wasn't that overturned? Wasn't I believe it was overturned. I believe
It
Biden's
was
order was overturned.
that that would be good to know. I can
Okay,
look
I'm
that
pretty sure it
up.
was overturned. Anybody in the Discord want to help me with that? I'm pretty sure it was overturned. They can let me know there in the Discord. But again, dude, like none of this is benefiting you, and you seem to blame the wrong people. Like you keep blaming like Democrats for the shit that's going on. Like, are you not recognizing that a lot of times with these loans, like people have paid off the total balance of this loan, like sometimes up to 10 times by the time they actually pull it off. Like, did a bank need to make 10 times their original loan value for you to go to college? Do you think that's a good system?
Well, you're taking a loan from the
No,
bank.
I said, is that a good system?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, honestly, do you think it's a good system that somebody else gets, like, somebody loans you money to go to school and then you pay them back sometimes up to 10 times over?
It can be unfair and unfortunate. Yeah.
Sorry, I brought up Allie here just because she has statistics on this that I don't have, and she can
Yeah.
probably explain them to you. Go ahead, Allie.
Hey,
Hey.
Levy, how you doing? It's nice to
Hey, how
talk
are
to you
you?
today. I'm doing well. So this is a great topic for a guy in your position, right? You're going to school, you need to know about these things.
Yeah.
Um, First and foremost, I want to address the question that you had about who's going to pay the banks back. And there's kind of a fundamental flaw in that assumption for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, most of these banks, under the old terms of student loans, were making 4 to 5 to God only knows how many times the original lended amount. So they not only recouped the money that they lended, but they recouped that amount 4 to 5 or more times over. So paying them back is not really the issue, right? Because they've already made their money back plus a whole bunch. And so in this forgiveness, we're just forgiving stuff that they've already made a huge amount of profit on. That's number one. So it's not really deducting anything from the banks or us. It's just saying you're done making a profit. And then I wanted to also touch on the idea that the Biden administration has done some really fundamental changes to the terms on student loans. There are a lot of things yet that we could still do better, and we have yet to address the price of education. But that being said, the new structure of how student loans work is going to help people be able to pay it off more like a normal loan, like you would see on maybe like a car or a home, to where if you make payments above your monthly payment, it'll go to your principal and help whittle that down. That's a huge, huge change because that term by itself under the old way of doing things was a huge reason that people couldn't pay off their student loans because they would have to pay off all of the interest on the loan and then make payments above that just to touch the principal and help themselves out. And they don't have to do that anymore. You can make your payment and anything above that goes to your principal, right? And so it's important to understand that when you're talking about student loans, the forgiveness that has gone out, most of that is because those were administrative mistakes that ended up costing people more money than they should have been charged, even under the old terms. And that's what's already went out.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
Can I
yeah, go
ask
ahead.
you one question?
You bet.
Yeah, when we're saying that their student loans are being forgave, who's forgiving them?
Yeah, so the government is no longer backing those loans, is essentially what's being said. And the government is holding lenders to the terms that they agreed to under those loans. In this particular instance, like a lot of the forgiveness is around mistakes that were made administratively on those loans, where people ended up paying a lot longer than they ever had to or were supposed to, and now they don't have to keep paying anymore.
So you're saying it's the government that's forgiving their loans?
Yeah, I mean, in a roundabout way, you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, where does the government get its money from?
The government is not paying the loans. The government is not backing the loans. There's a difference between not backing a loan and not paying a loan.
So
right?
then
The government isn't paying those loans. People are.
How are the banks staying in business then if they're giving out loans to people and they're not getting paid their money in interest?
Because they've already made, 4, 5, 10, 20, who never knows how many times the amount that they originally loaned. So they're not actually out money. They're just out profit.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think that's a common misconception, right? Which is a fair misconception because it's a pretty convoluted system. But I would tell you that the Democrats at this particular point in time are trying to make it so that at least those loans are more palatable until we can work on a solution to how expensive college is, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. That's a big deal for a guy like you or for a gal like me that just graduated last year.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all huge things. Not to mention the fact that the Biden administration is still working on a rule change to potentially forgive a lot more student loans for a lot more people. So it's not going to hurt the economy. It's actually going to help the economy. All that money that would be going to profits for a bank is now going to go back into the economy, which will help the people that keep the economy running instead of that top tier, 1% that don't really do a lot for the economy.
All right. Got you.
All right, thanks for letting me talk. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Allie. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, brother. Well, I'm gonna shut it down for the day. I appreciate you coming on. Allie, thanks. Not a topic I'm super well informed on. I did just see when I was looking it up, it looks like a new round of student loan forgiveness was passed today. Maybe I'm seeing $9 billion in. It was 3 hours ago. Biden cancels another $9 billion in student debt payment. Looks like that student debt payment is going to go to public servants who are enrolled in the public service loan forgiveness program, people in IDRs, and disabled borrowers. So 126,000 people are going to be getting student loan debt forgiven.
All right.
So I'll look into the details on that. But I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing up. I appreciate you bringing up a topic I didn't know a lot about.
I'm glad it didn't get that heated, man.
Yeah, I match energies.
Yeah, I learned something. I don't know how much you learned from me, but.
No, I learned from Allie. I think we both learned from Allie. I think that's actually what happened.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm young, so I'm still learning. But yeah.
All right, brother. Be well. Hey, good luck in school.
Hey,
and hey, when it comes time to vote blue. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Take care, man. Thank you.
We'll see you. All right. Y'all heard of me. Agreed. Thank you, guys. I'm just running out of energy. That's all that really happened. My AC. I've got to go turn it on. I forgot I unplugged it yesterday when I was cleaning it out. So doing my regular maintenance, and now I've got to go back outside and hook it back up. So it's a little warm in here. That's why I'm shutting it down. But I will see you guys not tomorrow. Day off tomorrow. I've got some things to do tomorrow, and I will see you Friday, bright and early. But I will likely see you Thursday night. So keep Discord. I will let you guys know when I'm going to go live, but just keep your notifications on. As always, you can support me by going to my YouTube. Those who have subscribed, I appreciate it. Liking and commenting on the TikTok videos, that's great. I appreciate all the guests that came today, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.